Yeah, we out here on the way to go meet the rest of the UK chapter of the NFAC. So yeah, we're out here just getting a little footage for MajorTv and.
Let's talk. I said there's power in these words, so let's talk. Let's talk. I said there's power in these words, so let's talk. Yeah. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. If I don't talk to you, the treasure in this message, so I gotta drop a couple jewels. Did it for my people, need some guidance, and they seek it true. Tired of propaganda, and they sick of being lied to. There's power in these words, so let's talk. Yeah. So let's talk. I said there's power in these words, so let's talk. Yeah. So let's talk. I said there's power in these words, so let's talk. Yeah. So let's talk. I said there's power in these words, so let's talk. So let's talk. So let's talk. I said there's power in these words, so let's talk. Yeah. So let's talk. I said there's power in these words, so let's talk. Yeah. So let's talk. Sharing knowledge like college, corruption and all the violence. We talk about all our problems, we turn our words into power. When all our heroes is dying, the media making them monster. Black leaders stripper, they honor like history, they rewrite it. There's power in these words, so let's talk. Yeah. So let's talk. I said there's power in these words, so let's talk. Yeah. So let's talk. I said there's power in these words, so let's talk. Yeah. So let's talk. I said there's power in these words, so let's talk. Let's talk. I said there's power in these words, so let's talk.
Hey, my people, what's going on? This is MajorTv. Peace and blessing. Shalom. Assalamu alaikum. Good day to all my beautiful black people. How are you, Achoti Tamar?
I am doing well on this Sabbath Eve. Shabbat Shalom to all my people out there. Good to see you, Major.
Okay, cool. We have an interesting topic we'll be talking about. And I want people to first and foremost, thank everybody in the chat. I see 9 viewing, so I know they got the Tasha Kid show going on, so they probably want to hear what's going on with the Kwame Brown situation with the Get Along gang and with that. I'm cool with that, but they can catch the replay. But for those who in the chat, thank you for tuning in. Preach the love and support. My man in the building, 100 Black Raoul, what's up? Got a ticket waiting in line. Peace, brother. Thank you so much. Christine in the building, hi, Major, waiting as well. Appreciate you, love. Appreciate you. Lester Smith, Shalom, MajorTv and Achoti and beautiful Nubian people. Shalom, baby. How you doing? Thank you so much.
Shalom, fam. Shalom.
Home and Peach from Quilly. Good evening to all my African descendant king and queen. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Like Real said, I bought my ticket ahead of time. How did they get ahead of me? I have no idea, brother. Real talk. Robin, how you doing? Hello, MajorTv. How are you? Black Jaw all day, every day. Thank y'all for tuning in. We're gonna get straight to it. It's something that we all heard that Juneteenth was turned into a national holiday. That was the last slaves freed from our Texas, and you have a lot of blacks that's happy, and you have some, of course, like us that's saying, "Oh, I'm confused. Like, what to be happy about?" They still haven't passed no reparation bill, the George Floyd bill. There's still police violence, discrimination, across the board. We're just not treated well. What's your take on everything, Achoti?
I think that we've been downtrodden for so long that when someone on the so-called caliber of a Biden comes and say, "Oh, we're now recognizing that you people have been forgotten, and we have denied what you've been through for so long. So let's just declare it." And so when they declare it, eat it up and feel like, oh yeah, they finally have arrived. No, that's just a smoke screen to pacify you. You know, like when you're a baby, you don't have any control over what someone gives you, right? And that baby, when he know that he just needs something in his mouth to keep him quiet, to calm his nerves. And so that's what this was, a pacifier, because of all the noise that was made during Tulsa when he said that he don't have time for a reparations bill. What's wrong with your ear, Major?
I had to shower water. I'm sorry, y'all. My bad. Yeah, I'm sorry. My bad.
That's just a joke, bro. But yeah, that's my take on it. It's just a pacifier, right? And so I'm not turned up because a lot of my people still have to go to work tomorrow. You know what I mean? I'm just saying.
Well, let's just address the elephant in the room, according. Let's speak about it. Black people are still enslaved and being enslaved. Criminal prosecution in the United States is illegal. In most cases, officers make obtaining and unlawful arrests, obtaining unlawful searches. Most interrogations are illegal. Prison, incarceration, the length of time, the amount of punishment for the crimes is all legal. And on top of that, you letting prisons become corporations, whereas they allow the prison to go on stock market. Ava DuVernay did a great documentary called 17th. She talks about how when slavery was abolished, they created all these petty laws and whatnot, right? To lock up black people and put them back on the plantation. And how people being there for so long, they would constantly case on them to keep them there longer than what have you. As we already know about the crack cocaine situation and how they passed these laws to Joe Biden, Bill Clinton. A lot of black people was incarcerated due to what? A bill that said if you get caught selling crack cocaine, you get a larger sentence as opposed to soft, we call it soft in the hood, but powder cocaine when we know whites was using powder. Clearly that was discriminatory. On top of that, you have political prisoners, black people that have been in the movement since the 60s and 70s and 80s that's incarcerated. It's and I don't see nothing being done to free sisters and brothers. We have a justice system. As soon as you get arrested, you're poor, the first thing you want to do is you plead out. It's just sad that we're in a day and age where there are laws being written right now as we speak to find ways how to lock us up, how to deny us a certain right. Like the voting bill, they're trying to push back. They're trying to mess with what? The First Amendment, you know what I'm saying, with the protests and whatnot, and that people can't do this and can't do during protests. I mean, different gun laws they're trying to pass and what have you, try to deal with the Second Amendment. It's so much stuff they're doing. It's like it's counterproductive. It's like you had said earlier. It's more symbolic than anything. Most people saying symbolic, just symbolism of showing, well, we at least we acknowledging this. But what's the real deal going on? You haven't passed a bill, Emmett Till Act. You haven't changed the George Floyd bill, Breonna Taylor, the civil rights, the voting bill, the civil rights on the Joan Lewis, all this stuff, like it's crazy. There's still this big financial gap. It's a joke to really just, and like you said earlier, black women benefit from Juneteenth. It's a federal holiday. Everybody, as Cody said earlier, everybody benefit. And in the audio she had dropped earlier, everybody benefit. White, black, and other. White people in America refuse to give us our due justice. They refuse to recognize the Freedom Bank, which was for the slaves and whites came infiltrate, stealing money and what have you. Something they started to help the newly free slaves, opportunity to build. They have done so many things. It's like a slap in the face to even have a discussion about Juneteenth. What you think about that, Achoti?
Well, let me just say this, brother. They pranced our elder, our Ima, out there. She's 94 years old because she has been waiting all this time for them to acknowledge the fact that they kept our people enslaved in violation of the national law. So it seems like to me that Texas owe us some money. Texas owe the descendants of those slaves who were held there 2.5 years after they were supposed to be free. They owe them some reparations too. You follow what I'm saying? So they always want to give us a holiday, like a MLK Day, to acknowledge the fact that you recognize that this was a great man, you are great people, or this is a great man, and we did you wrong. So you just give us a holiday? No, pay us just like you paid the Japanese, just like you paid the Vietnamese, and just like you still paying the Jews. Pay us. We don't need your acknowledgement. Your acknowledgement is great. I'm glad you realize it after all this time. Kudos for you. But what do you do to rectify it? You know, when you go to court, right? When you go to civil court, they say they have to make you whole. Clearly, we have a claim that should be heard in the court of law. Texas was in violation of the law by holding these people as slaves once the federal government said they were supposed to be free. Texas was part of the United States of America. They weren't independent, like it wasn't like a sovereign state. And so they clearly violated our rights. They clearly went against the federal government. So how do we make it right, federal government? The same thing goes for ADOs, or however you want to say it, descendants of slaves, right? People who were enslaved. You owe us, period, point blank, and we don't need you to come up with. So the whole hold up, my family, in Congress with the ADOs bill, with the reparations bill, is that they're trying to summons a commission of Black people to come to a round table to decide what programs we should institute in our communities in order to give us reparations. I'm gonna tell y'all right now, I don't want your programs. Give me the money and I'll decide what type of program I want to institute in my community or not.
And the funny part about it, they can't say they don't have the money because look all that money pushed out for COVID. The money is there. Why? Because you have taxpayers all across the country. You know what I'm saying? And this money in this government get on taxes from corporations and businesses and what have you. You know what I'm saying? At least I ain't gonna say corporations. A lot of corporations they write off zero or pay little, but a lot of small business pay higher taxes, what have you. I'm in a high tax bracket, right? But to make a long story short, you know, what's important is it's obvious that this government and they really want to cut the check, like a brother said to mention Paris, cut the check, like Elena said, we can't eat June 19th, nor does it make a third. They need to pay that $59 trillion. That's what they need to do, and we know they can do it. They just don't want to do it. Our next move gonna be it got to be self-determination as a definitely out. But also the fact that we gonna be here. You know what I'm saying? You know, we need to demand what's ours. You feel me? Because everybody else is eating. People come over here and benefit off of bills and laws that's supposed to affect us. You all these different movements, all these different groups, and the Black person at the bottom. And then what they said when they asked Joe about reparation, it was like right now they can't consider it right now. How it went Achoti? What he said?
Basically, he said, family, that right now that's not his priority, that he has to deal with the infrastructure bill that Congress is deciding they're going back and forth on right now, and then that has to take precedence. But then all of a sudden, we can get an executive order for a Juneteenth national holiday. Wow, you had time for that though. Boy, you something else, boy. You something else.
And don't forget the Asian hate crime bill, you know, I mean Asian, you know, with that hate
the Asian hate crime bill, we can't even say nothing about these people, but yeah, and still they could just talk to us any kind of way when we patronizing their business. I'm gonna tell y'all right now, I don't care. It's no way I can go and give my money to somebody that I know hate me. That is insane.
I mean, we really have a real discussion going on, and we will definitely get in the chat and see what y'all are talking about, because we want to hear what y'all have to say too. And I'm not gonna lie to you. It baffles me and befuddles me that we've been in this country fighting for basic liberties and rights, liberties and rights that any human should be afforded. and we watch how people fall for these rights, right? That's gradually been watered down or taken away. And we watch other people that even put in half the work black people put in, and they just go up there, right? They get up the toilet pole, they just climb. And the first thing they would say, well, look what so-and-so did versus what black people can do. The difference between that and them, they didn't have to really deal with the original sin that we had to deal with as black people. How it was targeted the whole time. You know what I'm saying? Because we're stripped of our religion, our culture, our native tongue, our way of life, so forth, so on, and given their culture. Then we fought through that, still created Black Wall Streets and all the different successful black towns and cities that then become infiltrated by the government, you know what I'm saying, and attacked by white militias and what have you, and the government destroy these neighborhoods and then reduce black people down to little nothing, having black people continually fight for integration and try to let them know, well, we not like how y'all say we are, right? And all the while we getting all this pushback. And then the other groups, they come with a culture. We don't have a culture. You know what I'm saying? They're getting their money, they're shipping it overseas, they're taking care of their families, while we over here fighting just to put food on our table. And the sad part about we fighting among each other because we can't figure it out. Because we're scared to mess with the man, because the man gonna lock us up, the man gonna kill us. So we take on each other, and the man just give him a slap and listen. I killed Cody, they might give me 20 years. I kill a white person, they might give me life, death penalty. That's how they think. That's how they play this mind game with us. That's why black people so easy to kill black people so fast. You know what I'm saying? It's just ridiculous. And when it happened so fast. I'm like, damn, I didn't know they was even talking about Juneteenth like this. And I'm like, what's the benefit? You have these banks you have any companies giving raises and all that, and recognizing giving days off, whatever. That is not reparation. There's so much old money out here, Cody. So much of old money. That slave money, so much of that old money out here that they don't even want to talk about. You have like what is Goldman Sachs. You have a company like that that been around that made a living, a profit off slave labor. These companies are still around, and it's sad that not only do they not want to give us reparation, they're finding every way to our food supply, wealth, jobs. They incarcerating us. They make us turn to crime. Us fighting against each other, trying to figure out what to really go to them with. It's just so much confusion. Like a lot of division of black community. Trust me, there's a lot of infiltration going on. Like you see a lot of these, like these Just Leave Peace and platforms, clearly where white people is definitely running that, right? And their whole objective is dismantle, destroy, separate any black people that's talking about coming together. Now this is the obvious, right? Then you got the other ones that's supposed to be conscious in the movement. This is worse than him. And they're doing the same thing. They feel like their job is to what? Expose black people. Your job is not to expose black people. Your job is to heal and help black people. But I just feel like it's an insult. It don't mean anything. Yeah, you can probably get paid off. Some holiday pay gonna be all, but that's not gonna be for black people. That's gonna be for everybody. So I mean, I don't know, Cody. You know what I'm saying? You want to go to go into the chat? You want to discuss more about this or what?
I just want to say, bro, I really believe in my spirit that they are afraid to give us reparations because they know that we are the most smartest, the most talented people on the planet. And they know if they give us this money, we will build another Black Wall Street. We will build another Timbuktu. If we have all that money, that they know if by giving us that money, we have an opportunity to unite. And they know that by stopping that unity, they can stop our power. Because with unity, you have power. And our power is greater than theirs if we only come together. And that's why they don't want to give us reparation in this hour, because there's too many of us that's so-called woke now. You know what I mean? Demanding it. And they're like, oh, snap. Y'all don't want to do that. because they're already going to be the majority. We're already the majority. Don't listen to those numbers when they call us minority. We are the majority. They are really the minority. See, Satan does things in the reverse, but I ain't going to go into that. But everything, he flips everything. So he makes you think that you're the minority, but actually we outnumber them in this country. But they won't let you know that. They keep you thinking that you are a minority. We got to do something for the minorities. No, you're supposed to be able to say that. See, why do we never figure it out? Why we never question, why are we minorities? And why do we have to be in a subclass when we're supposed to be given civil rights for all? Everybody's supposed to be equal, right? So we got to have special rights just for us, right? And with those special rights, they control us. They control us by your vote. See? And you stay in this paradox of thinking that the government has to make all these decisions for you. Like the government has to decide that you're going to recognize that my people was ignorant way back then and didn't know that they were free. Thank you, government, for letting everybody know this. So when we're going to stop accepting these cookies and start standing up like we're doing right now, they know that. They know that we're standing up, and they know that we're speaking out, and they know that we're not going for it. So if we keep the pressure up, eventually they're going to have to bounce on these reparations. But they're not going to give it to us if we don't demand it. We got to stop asking for it. We have to start demanding it. And that's my take on that. Let's go to the chat room.
All right, super thank you for super chat. 100 Black Real Major, check your emails. I sent forms on reparations. 2 checklists. Call me about this before. Yeah. Well, all right. Yeah, man. Call me before. Well, so you don't want it online? Take it down. See if you want me to put it up there. But I got it too, man. I see your email. You know, I'm busy as hell. I looked at it, I glanced at it, but I put if you want me to read it. Let me know in the chat if you want me to read it and whatnot. But I did see it. I didn't really review it too heavy. I've been real busy. I really just came. I came, cut my hair, shower, and did the live. But I'm gonna definitely look at it and stuff like that. But man, thank you for the super chat. Let me say this before we go into the the chat. I want to say this. That's the reason why we should come together more as a black people, right? We should come together more to build community, because as we can see, the government is not going to help us. And we see now there's more black people listening and more black people becoming more interested. And there's black people that have the buying power, that have money, that have the spending power as well, that want to do something. I think that we just have to come together and do it. And when I say come together, I'm not talking about a million people coming together. I'm just talking about coming together in groups. And I'll tell you about one to probably 5 or 10 people to really make moves. And I say one, meaning you got money and you can make moves. You know, you are informed to know how to deal with real estate, deal with business, look at the stock market and whatever. Because to me, it's all about hustling. It's not about working for nobody 30, 40 years. It's all about hustling, creating your own, investing, saving and investing, having good credit, knowing how to manipulate the system. I know a lot of you all are scared and be wondering about credit and making all kind of investment moves. Because people like, I ain't scared, but we don't have nothing. See, if black people to really exercise their ability to utilize the resources around them and really watch while America is moving, China, all these different countries, we'll see that it's all about knowing how to play the game, where to put your money, being able to be informed, put your face in the book, look at videos, get with people in like mind. You'd be surprised the black people that's on that same level that we don't be knowing about, right? We just might see that person like driving nice cars, living in a nice neighborhood. I mean, just all to himself, but really this person might be really a gainer, a winner. But if we don't know how to network and what have you, then that can be a problem. But let me say this. First, y'all like the video or share it. I appreciate everybody in the chat. I'm going to go through some of y'all comments. This is real deep, y'all. You know, I've been seeing everybody coming through. I'm going to try to show everybody some love here and what have you. Some shots out for me. Some shots out. Let me shout out. I'm gonna shout out. Right, let's shout y'all. Let's say Shalom made a TV and called beautiful. Oh, what she said that beautiful Nubian people. All right, yeah, we did get through that with her. All right, I want to get straight to some situation. Paris said exactly symbolism. We asked them to stop killing us. They gave us a holiday. Elena building greetings. How you doing, Elena? Kerry said, "What's up, big bro Major? TV, let's talk Black Power all day, every day." Queen's Reds. Hey, Biden apologized for slavery while signing that bill. It's symbolism, people. What we need Biden to do is something for the black people. He didn't apologize for Tulsa either. Nah, he didn't apologize. Not at all. Not at all. CSW Studios is just a waste of, just something to waste our time. Black Power, real talk.
I don't think Biden apologized either. I think he just acknowledged the fact that it happened. That's what I think. That was just an acknowledgement that it happened because it had been whitewashed and not whitewashed, but actually taken from history, like deleted from history until now, recent, the age of information, the last days.
Right. Majority of African descendants are willing to settle for leads such as Juneteenth holiday. Colonists are passing laws that school teachers cannot teach about racism. Right. Real talk. Paris said, cut the check. Real talk. We can use it too. Lana Poor, we cannot eat Juneteenth, no, it doesn't make a turd. We need to pay that $59 trillion. I had to read again. She went hard on that, man. Real talk. Nobody said Biden was better. He was just not as bad as Trump. I gotta get a little pushback on that, bro. I mean,
you go, bro.
Huh?
I said you go for it because I was just about to say something, bro. So
He's worse. He worse than Trump. Nobody's worse than Trump. Because that's the reason why we're in the position we're in, because the ones that laugh and smile and hug and shake our hand and blah, blah, what have you. Malcolm X said, the difference between the South and the North, the South is overt, the North is covert. He's not showing his hand. That's why they was mad at Trump, because Trump was just too racist. I can say too racist, he was blatantly racist. You know what I'm saying? But you don't know about Joe Biden history and what he said and what he did. The laws he passed, we have to be careful with that. You know what I'm saying? To some people, they're happy, but guess what? On the Dems watch, a lot of things happen. You know what I'm saying? And see, my thing is, I don't believe we should put faith in none of these people. I feel like we should put faith in the Most High, but do our part. Because it's on you whether you vote or not. But it's things locally we could be doing and nationally. But the problem is, black people don't want to come together and sit down. All these great organizations, all these great individual black leaders and influencers and people that's in position to make something happen, what they do, they want to fight or they want to be silent. Or I'm over here and I'm over there. But they still want to talk about the same topic about racism and about black people and so forth, so on. But you don't want to come together and really have a real agenda for the black people to vote and agree upon and then take it to them. And when I say take it to them, I'm not talking about asking. But at the same time, when we doing that, because see, the problem, we just can't go to them and be like, here, this was up. We got to also be putting stuff to work. We got to be building our communities. We got to be doing it. See, Devin George, the brother that was on Kwame Brown, he said, man, you got to go to the mayor office. Tell them that what you're doing. You throw some grant money at you. You're trying to help clean the community up. You're trying to help people. We have to know how to use things. We have to know the language. We have to know how to enact and what have you. We truly want to make change. But the problem will make our movement hypocritical and a bit false and hypocritical and not sincere, because nobody wants to sit down and talk and really talk about black people. We passed Million Man March type speeches and all them black leaders coming together and what have you, and not really solving anything. We passed the point of getting behind a podium, drawing a bunch of people together and not making no moves. We passed that. I'm talking really going behind the scenes. Really behind the scenes, meet together and really talk about how we're going to address issues in these major cities and small towns that black people are suffering. Largely because of discrimination, but also because we shoot ourselves in our foot too, not working together. Letting this thing of racism be in our head so much that we think we can't get ahead or we can't do this. We have to remove all that and focus on the positive things that we can do. And want to sit down and figure out how to fight the enemy, how to make it better for our children, our fellow man and fellow woman. That's what we got to think about doing. Therefore, going back to Biden, man, nah, bro. He's not better than Trump. Probably worse. That's what you want to say, Cody?
A lot of people who still participate in the political system, they were faced with a dilemma. You choose Trump or you choose Biden. And to me, they had a choice of the lesser of an evil. And so I said, I'm not voting for evil. I don't care how less or how greater it is. I don't rock with evil. So y'all made a, you're still rocking with the political and don't understand the real concept of they're not elected but selected. Then, to each his own. But do understand that you get what you pay for or you get what you vote for. And when someone tells you who they are, you better believe them. Now, his son, and I believe Mike and Jazz did a commentary on his son coming out just recently. His emails was exposed, and he was just using the N-word as if he was one of us. And he was speaking the N-word to another white man who just happened to be his attorney, and he was referring to him as the N-word, like casual conversation. If I would tell you, Major, it was on my N-word, that's how he was on his text messages. And this is Biden's son. So when did he start using that language? Was he in college? Was he sitting at the dinner table? Is that something that this word is used in the Biden household? You know what I mean? Is it cool? How does Biden feel about his son using his words now that his emails has been exposed? Now, y'all keep in mind now, perhaps he signed an executive order because he knew them emails was about to come out. Because they do that all the time. They'll send you a smoke screen to distract what's really going on. That flew under the radar. Everybody is saying Juneteenth, and his son is referring to his white counterpart as a nigga. I'm just saying. Y'all, help me out, y'all. How y'all feel about that one?
Elaine Porter, we have already filed papers in the UN. Yeah, we'll talk, Elaine. I need to be updated on that. But Elaine's a part of an organization that's fighting for self-determination, filing civil action against, filing legal action against United States, United States snakes of America, about the human injustice and human rights violations and so forth, so on and on. If you want, Elaine, I can send you a link and come on and explain it to her if you want. You know what I'm saying? I know you have to have your hair all did up. You got to be wherever you want. You come on the channel and just shout out your organization. Let it inform us more about what you all are doing. But it's a beautiful sister. Me and I talk every so often. You may call after the live too. You know what I'm saying? But that's good. You follow those people. Let us know what's going on. Let's submit. You be can unite Black Kemet nation, stand up and be counted. Right. We'll file an Inter-American Commission too. All right, cool. Come on the channel and inform us. If not today, soon we need to set up our own interview. My man Gary Brandt, see how them sellouts up there singing "We Got to Do Better"? They up there smiling. Real talk. We will not get reparations domestically. We got slammed on domestically. When we win internationally, if they do not pay, we sell Germany to Russia, China, Iran. Come on, this land. So I like that. Real talk. Don Smith in the bill. How you doing? This federal holiday will get us that much closer to getting reparation This now is a total admission that our slavery was real to the entire world.
Wait a minute, hold up.
Hold on
I'm
one
sorry.
second. Let me say something. I'm gonna say one thing. I'm hopeful, but I don't know. All right, okay, cool.
I don't think that this is one step closer to us getting reparations, and this is going to be just on a real talk. Biden signed an executive order declaring that June 19th is a federal holiday. In order for us to get reparations, it's going to literally take an act of Congress, a literal act from Congress that the president can then sign. You got people like Mitch McConnell is not going to let that happen. Even people that what's the majority guy? What's his name? The majority leader in the Senate. Anyways, he's not going to even bring it up, and he's the majority leader. He can bring it to a vote, and they can say no, I don't want to vote on it or not, right? But he hasn't even brought it to the floor. Understand what I'm saying? He hasn't even brought it to the floor. But he's a Democrat. And he's in charge of the Senate. So no, I don't think we get no step closer to reparations by having June 19th declared. He just declared that Tulsa happened. He just acknowledged that. They acknowledged June 19th. And so what they say, are you saying they're trying to butter them up to allow them to give us reparations? They've been knowing they enslaved us. This ain't nothing new. Ain't no new history. We're supposed to be grateful because they acknowledged it. Give me a break.
Even read, Shalom, my brother at MajorTv, my sister Cody and Black family. How you doing, D. Marie? What's up with you?
Shalom says shalom.
Independent debate 2016 at Don Smith, that will not bring us close to reparation. Only a declaration of the UBKN get us in a position to demand reparations. Real talk. Pin debate at Atlanta Port. Did you do that with Jim J at the UN? That was a question for Atlanta. Atlanta Port, they owe us land and all 100%. Truth says they owe us more than one can truly put price tag on for real. That's why they shut Jim J down. He told us the youth that cannot pay his system, it pay his countries. Real talk. Biden's racist. He just undercover. Trump was not. We insist that they cut that check. Tulsa victims should get a paycheck. True be told, Black Wall Street was stolen. It's ours. No agreement. First ask for reparations. Liberation, then recognition of our status, compensation, partition, and guarantees of non-repetition. Guarantees of non-repetition. I'm sorry, y'all. Tongue twisting. I laser tongue tonight. Record or float. 1 million guns, meaning the militia, recognized by UN and any other force associated with it can summon help from UN. That's why NFAC poses a threat to establishment.
I think that comment right there is really profound because she's absolutely right. You can't pay reparations to a color. We have to be declared a nation of people. She's absolutely right. We can't say, okay, give Black people money. No, we can't do that.
And that turn of head made in Achoti Tamar. What's up? Always stay dangerous. In fact, for like happy birthday, Tupac. This is my happy birthday, Tupac. You already know. All right, send me a like. Make sure explain I am Hooking up now. All right, it's about to send to you now, boo. Well, I gotta find an email, man. Give me a second, y'all. I'm sorry about this.
You good. You know, people have to understand. We have to realize that this is you can't be in this fight for the long haul, and you can't just accept what they're giving you when you know that you want more and you know that you deserve more. Don't settle, people. Don't settle and don't get all emotional because they're acknowledging that they did wrong to us, or they're now acknowledging it nationally. They've always known what they have done. But now the cat's out of the bag because we woke to what they've done. So now they're just trying to pacify you, babe. That's all they're trying to do.
Well, let me say it's reparation that that's the wrong. I'm sorry, y'all. That's the wrong thing. What I had? Oh, got off. I'm gonna say something with Ryok shared with a black Ryok. I'm gonna go back to it, and he shared something. He told me I'm gonna bring it up. His brother on Ryok, he in the building, and I gotta blow this up, y'all. African Americans' traditional political agenda. This comes from 100 Black Real. One government study on the adverse effect today of slavery, Jim Crow, discrimination against African Americans, adverse effect on establishment and accumulation of generational wealth and monetary value to the beneficiaries of Jim Crow discrimination. Reparation is old and must be rendered to African American descendants of these and those enslaved beginning approximately in 1619, primarily British, French, Spanish colony territories, and what would become the United States of America. One second, I get out the way. To remove reparation bill HR 4 into discussion. To move reparation bill HR 4 discussion from committee to a vote in full House. 4. Produce U.S. Senate bill equivalent to HR 4 in the House. 5. Hard work and free labor should be valued and rewarded where it is stated in 1619 of today. All citizens of the United States must have the right to vote, and the right must be. That must be. 7. Prison reform must include the right for ex-felons who have served as their sentence, the right to vote in all states. I scrolled now, y'all, my bad. A Constitution of the United States must be upheld. 9. Federal laws of the United States must be upheld. 10. Government should not intrude in the affairs of African American families, except where there are violations of laws. I see Elaine, nobody come in. 11, core families of male, female children. 12, life must be respected and protected. 13, education must be treated with the level of respect and part of the military force. Social and welfare programs must be means of self-sufficiency, not a lifestyle. 5, courts and police departments must uphold constitutional rights of African Americans, ensuring they are free from 911 calls solely based on racism that has led to the death of African Americans. 16, government must not use its force in African American communities like an ATM machine using police and court systems to supplement budget. 17, healthcare for African Americans must be proportional to severity of the need as reflected in ethnic comparative studies. Government programs, 18, government programs must be accountable and transparent to African American communities. 19, military must be passed to defend domestically and abroad. Excuse me. 1 second, y'all. I'm getting through this here. Yeah. All right, the last part right there. 20, military veterans must be respected and cared for when in need. And 21, African Americans should be encouraged to have social economic ties with African people and countries. This was shared by Brother Rio. You know what I'm saying? He wanted me to share that with y'all. He sent it to me earlier. I'm about to take this down. I'm about to bring Elaine in here. Waiting on her to come back. Well, yeah, Elaine, come on in here.
Okay, here I am.
Peace and blessings. This is Elaine Porter.
Greetings, everybody.
And she be like, that's my girl. We talk a lot on the phone so often, but explain y'all about self-determination and what have you. She do have some kind of tie with MJ, so let's go ahead.
Well, let me tell you what we found. Well, when we were doing our research, we started the movement back in 2013. We started looking at issues concerning our political status. And what we found is the political status and the political form that we're in is not for populations like ours because we're colonized. And we also had some choices that was skirted after slavery and also during the civil rights movement. After slavery, our ancestors had a right to return to Africa, and we also had a right to return to our homelands here. One of the biggest issues that we found is that the United States said that our point of contact, their point of contact with us was 1619, when that's a lie. That is a bold-faced lie. Our ancestors were already here. Matter of fact, our ancestors brought them here. Our ancestors came here in waves from Africa. There was two types of people here. You had the Black American, which was of the Australoid phenotype, like the Black people in Australia and Melanesia. And you also had the Black African that came here, Sub-Saharan African that came here in waves. And they came in about 4 waves. The transatlantic slave trade was the last wave of Africans that got here. We were already here. So as a result, we were supposed to have been treated like the Native Americans. And they're committing apartheid right now based on that fact. We're not going to get reparations solely based on the fact of slavery. We're going to get reparations for the way that they're treating us right now. Right now, they're committing apartheid because we were supposed to have been treated like the Native Americans because we were already here when they erected their constitution and institutions. That's what's going to get us reparations. The next thing that we found is that domestically, we've exhausted all remedy. And as a matter of fact, we'll never get reparations domestically because of the way that they have us penciled in as a minority. We are not a minority. We are a people. Okay? That's a legal political unit in international law. The status is indigenous. We're not a minority. We're not an involuntary minority because that's the way they treat us. Like we swam beside the Mayflower. We did not. And we have the documents to prove it. Specifically here, all in the South, all in other areas, all over this United States. When these colonizers got here, this was a war zone. We've been colonized. We were colonized by the French. We were colonized by the Spanish. And the last ones that colonized us was the British. And then the Euro-Americans, their offspring. Okay? Slavery was, when they came here in the 1700s, slavery was banned. Those were not necessarily slave ships. They were prison ships. Okay? So we've been lied to. We were told that people ran to the north. No, they ran to Florida because our ancestors were free down that way. I'm talking about in the early 14th, 15th, 1600s. So that's one way that we're going to be getting reparations. Okay, the way reparations is going to look like this, I don't know what they call it, these little trinkets that they're trying to throw us. That's not how reparations is going to look. Reparations is going to come in the form of recognition. Liberation first. Liberating ourselves means that we did not, how can I put it? The 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendments, they are null and void to us because number one, there was no plebiscite vote. We didn't agree to it. We did not agree to that. After slavery, we had a right to return to Africa. We had a right to set up our own government here, or we had a right to be integrated. There was no plebiscite vote. They treated us like the Native Americans until after Lincoln was murdered. Once Lincoln was murdered, they rescinded all the gains, the land with that special field order, all down in Mississippi. We had all of our own settlements, everything, specifically here in the South. They know who we are. We just don't. We've been here. We're not guests. They're the guests. And when we stop acting like guests, we're going to get some reparations up in this mug. You'll never get it domestically because they have you penciled in as their property. And that never changed. It has never changed. We're still in there. We're going to have to take them outside of this jurisdiction and force them to put an amendment in there for us that give us the right to self-determination, to self-govern, to control our own resources. The reason why we're in the shape we're in is not because little Ray Ray's mama not doing what she's supposed to do. That's an issue, but it takes the heat up off the real problem. The real problem is the United States government is colonizing us. They take our resources, our human capital, and absorb it. We pay the police that kill us. When we get control, all that stops. All of that will stop. So reparations is not going to look like what they're putting out here in the news. It don't look like that. The Afro descendants down in South America, since 1988, they've been getting reparations. They've been getting land rights. They control their resources. We're the Johnny-come-latelys. And it's Negroes that knew that too. All the way up in Congress, they knew that. The Afro descendants in Colombia have a treaty with the United States. Everybody thinks that once domestic law says it's over, no, it's not. You take it to another jurisdiction. And that's why our rights going to kick in, and they're waiting on us there. And with that, I yield the floor.
People don't realize, right? And I've been trying to explain to people. Black people migrated. First, let's clarify. The original man was in Africa. We have bones, we have science, we have stuff to establish that the original black family, civilization started in Africa. As we multiply, we migrated, we left. Some of us just was wandering and trying to come back. We got lost. You know what I'm saying? We got to understand about Europe. We got to face the other truth about Europe and albinos and black people. Only people can make white babies, light-skinned babies, versus whites who can't. They're not melanin in their skin, right? And we have to understand that all these dark, I don't try to speak about the colorization, right? I speak about it a lot. When you look at all the Asian countries, Latino countries, you look at Mexico, all this, you never see dark-skinned people in the main media or in government. There's always dark skin, there's always light skinned people, white or mulattoes that support these countries that's speaking out, right? And we have to remember, everybody, we understand when we hear about Mexicans, Somalians, and all these different names, Eskimos, whatever, all these different names, we understand there was a group of people that named everybody, every country, and what have you. These Europeans, these whites, one thing they was good at, even though we had invasions from Asia, Arabs, and what have you, Europeans are the one who got, they kept the scrolls, you know what I'm saying? And they kept a lot of things that was so valuable. They still have a lot of that stuff, right? And we gotta realize they named everything and everybody. So they're really like they be saying Indians. Indians are really black people. People you can't get believe that because they've been brainwashed to believe you different. Mexicans and all of them, Eskimo, all of them, they don't realize you're black people. You just giving another name or what have you. Of course, they create their own subculture and whatnot, or create their own culture, but their real motherland was from Africa. And I think a lot of people understand, like you said, there was black people here. They say evil Indians, but all it's the same. You know what I'm saying? All the same. Black people, black. They're just black people. Different name, different kind of culture, and so forth, so on. Some black people turned to cannibals. You know what I'm saying? Well, they was dealing with the places where they couldn't make no food and survive and so forth, so on. It's so much. And see, like white people don't even realize where they really come from. People say Neanderthal and all that stuff there, but still, everything originated from black people. So when you're talking, what have you, you speak in facts. I think people need to understand that. Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna send out a link in the chat, right? And if somebody else want to come in, like you're laying there talking, have a question for her, you want to talk about something in general, the link is in the chat. If y'all want to hit that link, come on in and we can have an open discussion about this. But I'm glad Elaine finally came on the channel.
Yeah, I'm glad too, because we've been working. There are people working on this. We have a brother named by the name of Ramzu Yunus who's been working on it diligently on the housing issue up in Detroit by himself, and he's using international law. So we've been working in the background, and we've been doing a lot. We've got a lot accomplished, and we put some things on the map that the world didn't even know. I mean, we were already here. And as long as we allow them to use that 1619 narrative and that domestic remedy, we'll never get reparations, because our remedy, the crimes that was committed against us were not just domestic crimes, and it was not just slavery. Right now, we're suffering from apartheid because of the status that we're in. The mere fact that we're in a political status of a minority, like we swam here beside the Mayflower, our resources are being absorbed, our tax dollars are being misappropriated. It goes to every other nationality except for us. By the time our money gets to us, we have absolutely nothing. Our manpower is being used and misappropriated. Tax dollars is used to finance our own demise in the public schools and in the law enforcement. Okay, our property rights have been skirted. We have land rights. We had land rights. I was so disappointed when nobody brought up the fact that when you ask for reparations, you're not asking, you telling them, look, you owe me land, you owe me compensation, you owe me guarantees of non-repetition. They owe us a treaty or a compact, because we don't want to be considered and classified like the Native Americans. Why? Because the BIA takes their dollars. They've been made squatters basically on their own land. They got any oil, guess what? They can't tap into it. The Dakota Indians have enough oil in those Black Hills, just like Saudi Arabia, but they're poor because of those treaties. Those treaties are too old, and they're not in sync with international law. They need to be ripped up and tore up. That's why I don't tie myself to none of those tribes. We don't have to tie ourselves to those Native Americans, because we got documented proof in their military records with those Gullah Wars. They know who we are. That's why they treat us the way they do. We just don't know who we are. But our ancestors fought them from 1733 on up to 1858. That's documented. Okay? And guess what? They did not stop fighting. They negotiated and told them that, you know what, if y'all stop fighting us and, give us a little breathing room, we're going to let you go out west. And that's how we got to Oklahoma. There was two Trail of Tears. There was two slave trades. The first slave trade was the Indian, Black American slave trade with the Black Indians. And it came and it went from inside the United States. And I'm going to be careful because some of them, they don't want you calling them Black. They don't want you calling them African. They call themselves Aborigines. And that slave trade started from within the United States and went to the Caribbean and went to Africa and went to Europe. The second slave trade came out of Africa. We got documented proof of all these things. So that's the conversation we're going to be having with the United States. I don't want Congress to give us anything, because guess what? We've exhausted all of our remedies in their judicial system. We can show that it's fruitless to continue to go to them and ask them for anything. We need to tell them what we want when we have a conversation. And when they say they're not going to give it to us, we want them to, because we've exhausted our remedy and we can get them out of their safety zone into a neutral jurisdiction, into an international jurisdiction. And the world is waiting for us. They're waiting on us. We're over 45 million strong, but we have the same quality of life as a third world country. Something's wrong with that picture, and it's bigger than Lil Ray Ray's mom, Shaniqua down the street. It's bigger than that. It's structural, it's institutional, and it's in the Constitution. We're still embedded as property. And when we're, classified and co-signing on, I want this grant money for a minority, that means you got to share it with the Mexicans. Not to say anything wrong with them. You got to share it with everybody else. By the time it gets to us, we're getting trinkets. So we got to start thinking about self-determination, self-governing. What needs to be happening is people need to be withdrawing their consent from these local governments. If it's not working for you, you can form your own council and withdraw that whole county and set up your own way of governing and demand a part of that budget. If you pull the budget in these counties, 20% may go to our neighborhoods. Nobody thinks about that. But we have all these people that supposedly represent us up in Congress, the Black Caucus, when they are ramrodding us right now. And they're doing it because we don't know our rights. We don't know our human rights. We got a right to control our own resources. We got a right to control our own tax dollars. As a matter of fact, if you want to stop police brutality under those 4th Geneva Conventions, we can get them out of our neighborhoods where we're the majority population. If we had a unified militia, just by our consent, we can withdraw our consent and put police power in their hands. But see, we can't do that now because we're showing the world how incompetent we are by, some of these people like to get on here and sling mud at us Black people, and we won't say no names.
Mm-hmm.
The world is watching us, and they watch this stuff. They're watching us. I've gotten so many calls. What's going on over there? I thought y'all had a military. What's going on? And you got this. It's like a soap opera. It's nothing but hybrid warfare is being ran on us right now. We knew this. We did a threat assessment a couple of months, maybe 6 to 9 months ago. So we knew hybrid warfare was coming. We knew agents was going to be crawling because we've been filing that paperwork. We've been giving them that work. And we're going to continue to give them that work.
Real talk.
That's real talk. We got to stop running to our oppressors, asking them for mercy. If somebody raped you, are you going to go back to your rapist and ask them for counseling? No, you're going to get raped again with no Vaseline. And the United States is a criminal. A criminal is not going to willingly, charge themselves. We're in the wrong jurisdiction. And that's why we'll never get reparations at the point that we're going. It's an ignorant move to keep running and begging for reparations. And these Negroes that's celebrating Juneteenth, you can't eat no damn Juneteenth. And it definitely don't make no turd. It's a disgrace. And we're the laughing stock of the world.
So you're saying that as long as we claiming in the states about reparation, as opposed to going at all the countries that's involved and breaking it down like country by country in the order that it happened, That's the one we're gonna get reparation.
The first order of the day is to get the immediate knee off our neck. That's the United States. They're the ones who had the immediate contact. They're the ones who are benefiting now. Like I said, enslavement is not the only argument. You're being right now, you're in apartheid because you don't enjoy the same status that allows you to control your own wealth, power, human capital, resources, and your land. And we got land specifically in the South, but you don't control it. Okay? That's the argument. We're up on the belligerent occupancy because you have these areas where, like in South Georgia, it's 59, 60% Black. Out in, I believe it was Ferguson, 70% Black, but you had only maybe 10 Black men, 10 Black police officers on the force. That's occupation. You're being occupied. Stop and frisk, the way we suck, that's occupation, just like the Palestinians. Okay? So once we start defining what's going on with us using international language, you're being colonized. How? Why? Because it's not gentrification. Those are illegal population transfers. Just like in Palestine, just like what happened with the Jews. But we call it gentrification. In Detroit, they have whole neighborhoods that's been empty. They cut the water off. They jacked up the taxes. And those people are suffering. In Chicago, areas are being gentrified, especially our historical Black areas are being gentrified because we don't know the right language. We want to call it gentrification. It's an illegal population transfer. That's what it is. Colonialism is when you have someone that has, without your consent as a population, they govern over us. We didn't give them consent to be penciled in as a minority. Our ancestors didn't give that consent. They never gave up their sovereignty. Enslavement displaced their sovereignty. They never gave it up, and nor should we. So do you kind of understand the way that I'm framing, why I'm framing it this way? We're using the wrong strategy to go after reparations. You don't ask for reparations. You put that demand on the table. And if they don't pay it, you sell that judgment and let the damn chips fall where they may. We can go buy some land somewhere else.
I understand everything you said. I mean, I've been hearing reparations for so long. I understand what's all about it, what have you. I think your platform probably is one of the most organized one. And my whole issue, real talk, you know what I'm about to say. The Big Five controlling you in France, United States, Russia, China, and Britain. And they control them countries in there, they control them. All the countries under them, neo-colonialism going on in the countries. We saying demand, you still demanding people, saying we do the United States.
But look, who's the bigger evil? I'd rather take my chances there because the people that look like us, they control their stuff. We don't.
No,
they have laws. They have laws. We're part of a whole region where those laws should have applied to us, but because our leadership did not know international law, and those who do know it, they eat off of the government's plate. You know, we got to be real here. We got some strategically placed Negroes even in this movement. I'm going to be real with you. That know the information, that know the route that has to be taken. Okay, they know this. Yes, the UN is no angel, but there are people that looks like us that has gotten their rights, that are countries now. Eritrea, their whole gross national product is less than ours, and they govern themselves. The Tamil people, okay, the Sami people. These people are exercising self-determination. They ain't trying to vote for nobody, vote Democrat or Republican. And out of all these years we've been voting, what have we got? We still getting lynched. Our babies are still being murdered. It ain't even been 2 months yet. Asians got legislation, but a 6-year-old Black child got a bullet. Other people around the world watch these things. We look like cowards, and we look like fools. Okay? Other people around the world, Black people, they knew to go and go for self-determination. As a matter of fact, that's what Malcolm X was doing before he was murdered. But the population was manipulated by those civil rights Negroes who got paid. They got paid by those corporations to sell us out. And I'm not a fan of Martin Luther King. I'm sorry. He is not my hero because he was part of it. We were sold out, manipulated, and we're still being sold out and manipulated. But the people got to learn how to read and study their rights. Just because you don't get rights for a police brutality case here in the United States, you can take it to the Inter-American Commission located in Washington, D.C. You can take it to a treaty body. We don't have to take this land down. Other nationalities, other colonized people, they have gotten their rights. We are the Johnny-come-latelys. We got the evidence all in Latin America. The Hondurans got their rights, got their land rights, and they're autonomous. That means they govern themselves. You got the Afro-Colombians. They're autonomous. They got reparations. You got the Saramacca Maroons over in Suriname who shut down loggers who were logging trees in their areas. That's the first reparations case I cut my teeth on and did a comparison with Cato versus the United States. We're in the wrong jurisdiction.
Okay.
We got proof what we can do internationally. Show me where we're going to get paid here. We've been begging since after slavery, asking for reparations. You're in the wrong jurisdiction. This is the criminal. They have sovereign immunity that they give to themselves in their constitution. They will not give you justice here because they know they're committing international crimes. Slavery was an international crime. And there's no statute of limitations on it. But if you read Cato versus the United States, they got that in that case.
I'm
understand where I'm going?
I see. I'm just reserved by like I just feel like all these countries you're talking about that got independent, whatever, they're still fighting these big countries that have some kind of influence.
They control their stuff though. They control their stuff. They got a military. Where's our military? Oh, I forgot. Somebody shut that down. I forgot. They got their own military. They do their own policing. They control their own school system. What we control. They're doing better than us because they control their stuff. We don't control that $1.3 trillion that we circulate through this economy. We give it away. We don't control it because we don't have a government. We don't have our own banking system.
I want to thank Kenyatta Booker for the super chat. Appreciate you so much for the donation. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for love and support. We have recorded tomorrow here. We have Elena Porter. Cole, you have any questions for Elena? Because me and Elena gonna go back and forth at night. That's my girl.
Yeah.
That's my girl.
Yeah, shalom, sister. Shabbat shalom to you. I do have a question regarding the UN. A couple of months ago, I heard that the UN was investigating the U.S. as well as nation of Israel for crimes against humanity in relation to African Americans. Can you expound upon that, or how does that relate to what you're trying to do?
Yes, they are. Several, as I stated, several complaints have been filed, and not just our organization. I believe this organization that was responsible for those filings is called the U.S. Human Rights Network, and they have been instrumental in filing a lot of complaints and petitions on behalf of African descendants here in the United States because of the amount of violence. The amount of violence that we experience is the equivalent of a war-torn country. If you take in consideration of the external violence, which is the police killings, the lynchings that nobody wants to talk about, the disappearances of women is horrible here. That's called external violence. The internal violence is the fratricidal black-on-black crime, the things that we do to each other. So we experience the same type of violence in the same manner. Therefore, those international laws, such as the 1960 Decolonization Conventions, which give us a right to self-govern and to fight for that right to self-govern legally, okay? Even if we have to come to blows, which it'll be suicide if we tried that. But we have, we have rights that will protect us. Also, the Fourth Geneva Convention applies, which is humanitarian law. Because of the shape, the infrastructure our neighborhoods are in, we're being dispossessed, the internal displacement. You got whole neighborhoods that of people up in Detroit, Chicago, in these big cities, and even in these rural areas. Large bodies of Black people are losing their property, being pushed off their property, being internally displaced. So those international rights kick in. But I have yet to see one Black leader in Congress assert our human rights. I have yet to see it. But yes, there are other organizations that are working on it, and there is a consequence. Just like the United States go and want everybody to be sanctioned, they can be held accountable too. But we've never been to the United Nations. We've never really filed the documentation like we've been doing it within the past, I will say, 7 years.
How has it been when you file a document? What did they tell you when you file? It's been 7 years. I know y'all heard something on the document. What the decision was? What was the decision? You see, y'all been filing since.
Oh well, we are a nation. We've declared nationhood. We have declared that we are a nation and that we are entitled to self-determination. Now, how we form our self-determining political configurations is up to the people because it's democratic. But you have a right to form your nation wherever you are. You have a right to assert your international rights.
But why?
The legal work have been carved out. Nothing has been done because the people don't know. Nobody really.
So why y'all don't do elections? Why y'all don't do elections? Why y'all don't raise funds to do an election to inform people publicly inform people, city to city, do a vote, you know what I'm saying, and what have you, because, you know.
Well, we have had people that, now there's several ways that you can form a nation. You can declare one, you know, or you can organize it democratically. So there's more than one way to do it. We already have nations. We have ARNA. We have the nations that we've declared. You have the Republic of New Africa. You have the Lost Found Nation of Islam, which is another Afro-descendant nation. So we have several nations that's been declared. It's just that we haven't gotten the word out for marketing because most of the work has been done. We don't get grant money. I don't get a grant to do what I do. I use my own money that I hit a clock for. And people that work with me, they do the same thing. We don't get out here shaking no can and begging. We do what we got to do. And not that I'm trying to, be, all this and that. I'm just being honest. We don't get grant money. We don't ask for grant money. We use our resources to do it, to do what needs to be done.
I was talking about grant money. I was talking about the people. I wasn't talking about the grant money. First, hold on.
Well, the people's trust has been lost after what we've just seen. You can't get anybody to really donate to anything because a lot of people don't trust other Black people now because they've been, mistreated so bad. So, I don't ask for donations.
You believe in the Most High?
Oh, yeah.
You got to pray. You got to pray for that.
I
am. Prayer without works mean nothing. You know that, right? You got to pray.
Oh, yeah.
Pray and you got to go work for it. You got to get it. You got to realize you're a beautiful sister. You're very witty. You're devoting your life to this. I'll be the first donate. I'll donate to you first, baby. Like, don't say Black. We got some Black people out to give you some money now. We give you some money. I don't think we can give you no money.
Well, but let me tell you something about this international money.
Hold on, let me tell you. Val Williams, thank you for the super chat. Appreciate you. Much love, baby. I'm humble. Thank y'all so much for donations. What you about to say, Lana?
Okay. Once we get organized politically, the best political configuration for us is an insular confederated nation. And that gives people an opportunity to form their own nations and to, the way I may want to govern here in Georgia gonna look totally different the way y'all want to do it in Louisiana. Leadership is gonna look different. So we had to have a political configuration that represents us all and everybody's share in power. One reason why we never could get anywhere politically, because we've been oppressed so long, we got that crab in a bucket syndrome. I want to look better than you. Oh, you got more followers than me, then that means you got more money than me. Because you got more followers, then that's $1 more than I'm getting. Next thing you know, they're running around calling folks agents. Next thing you know, you're running around here doing this, you're running around here doing that, and the world is watching. We don't look very good right now, you know.
But sweetheart,
So
listen.
with that being said, once we organize, there are international agencies like UNCTAD that deals with trade. They will send in the economists. They help us erect our own economy. There's another one called the UNDP where they will go in, like we had found one area up in Loudoun County, Alabama. This is the 2000s. They didn't even have sewage. We can get the resources. Other agencies, international agencies, will help us, but we have to organize amongst ourselves. We have to make a decision that we are ready to self-govern. We are the most educated Black people on the planet. We got access to things that allow us to protect ourselves. We're not stupid. We got resources we can access, but we're in the wrong political configuration and we don't know how to pick leadership. Okay? We got a problem with authority too. When we get a leader, we always want to tear them down when they don't want to dance our tune, and that's not right either. We got to get it together internally, organized.
But I'm gonna give you some pushback behind that. You got a new chief, and you got a new brother in town. You got a major in town. See, the mindset is let them do that. See, in the end, all that it was smoke clear. Those are really sincere gonna stand out. See what's going on with Jay and everybody. They gonna clear the smoke or clear. You know what I'm saying? And you gonna see who the real ones that's gonna stand up, right? See, me, I'm not listening to like people like man, you came up here, you came in, you ain't heard it, you heard that. People call you heard. I don't listen. I block it out. I block it out. If it's not nothing positive and we ain't trying to build like we doing tonight, why I'm gonna listen to that?
That's right.
I have a problem with Kwame talking about some real stuff, right? But at the same time, I'm focused on billing now. You expose them, let's get the billing now. You feel me? We already know what's going on. The thing about it is good that somebody of his stature can just expose the debacle and the food that was going on with Black people and Black media, with people that was supporting each other because it was cool, but not really supporting the general Black public, was buying to the white agenda of criticizing, condemning Black men and women. That's cool, but let's move on to something else, right? Like my job is not Black versus Blacks. You know, my job is to expose the ugly truth, but also talk about how we can deal with the ugly truth and deal with our reality and deal with everything as a whole. That's what my mind is. Like I support you, sister. You already know I support you. You know what I'm saying?
I appreciate it. You know, I support you too. I love what you're doing. It's healing, you know, because we've been traumatized. I know I've been traumatized since 2013. I mean, I'm tired too. You know, we need some help. We really do. We need people to learn international and human rights law. We need people to start organizing and withdraw their consent from these counties and these states. Go pull these budgets. That proves apartheid. When you got all of the resources, all the tax dollars, you paying into this pool of tax dollars, okay? And you're only getting 2% for your population of $25,000 or $30,000. That's a problem. That's colonialism at the finest. But you'll never know what it is because we don't have anybody that know international human rights law. So we're having to train, we're having to market, we're having to do all of it and file the paperwork because a lot of our leadership, they don't know international human rights law. And what I respected about Brother Jay is he listened. And not only did he listen, he went back and he studied it for himself and come to find out he knew a lot. He knew a whole hell of a lot more than I expected him to know about international and human rights law.
And I have a legal background too. I have a legal background too, but I told you not in. But I gotta study myself. I ain't gonna lie. You gave me paperwork. I got the paperwork. I didn't research, but I can go look. I can pull up Google Scholar. I'm gonna start. I'm gonna paperwork again. I'm gonna Google Scholar. Then I'm gonna Lexus Law. I'm gonna do some research. I've been busy for real. I've been busy, but you know that was my pet peeve. I love mess that law. You know I love the intricate things with that. It just I'm gonna be honest with you. It's a bit toxic. Like you see, you look at the community is and how people, when you talk to them, it's like you talk a whole other language, you know, because they're so confound and congested in the nonsense. You know, so the bad part about we sell trauma. We really deal with controversy, right? We really like to sell it to the people. And the funny part, I kid you not, and I call this lady name. Not watch the channel once in a while. She gossips about all the celebrities. This woman be 11,000 people viewing. They giving all kind of donations. I'm like, God damn, and she's just gossiping about celebrities and things. I'm like, damn, black people like this. So you know, it's a bit discouraging, but I commend you, Elaine. That was beautiful. That's beautiful what you're doing. I gotta do a little. I gotta do something. I know a little something. A little something.
But let just hold tight because I'm organizing something where everybody can be a part of it. What needs to happen is we have to declare we want to govern ourselves. That gives us the judicial personality, and it shows that we're ready to move. It don't matter if you vote Democrat. It don't matter if you vote Republican. You're still at the bottom of the barrel, relegated to a disposable population. We're disposable. That's why they kill us. Okay? They kill us because our lives mean nothing. It means nothing to them. It don't mean nothing that they kill these children. It don't mean nothing that our women are missing. It means nothing to these people. We are on the road to genocide right now because we cannot protect ourselves. We cannot secure the resources that we need. We don't control nothing. And when a population as big as ours is, control absolutely nothing, you on the road to genocide. That's the end of discussion. That's it.
Let me thank Lisa Jackson for super chat. She said, "I'm ready to separate from the terrorists." Salute panel. Thank you, Lisa, for the donation. We out here doing it. I mean, hey, me and Elena, we go at it. You know, she full of fire, y'all. I'm telling you. Look at this. Say, I want Elena to be president.
We're being really nice tonight. We go at it about that domestic versus international law. Me and him, we went on 30 minutes. We carry on something terrible, but we being nice tonight.
I said, come on here, lady. Unless my hair not fixed.
Yeah, he caught me with my hair wasn't done. If it weren't for that, I was gonna give him a run. And he made me mad that night. I was getting ready to come in here and tag him a new one.
You mean he mad? I mean, she was all through the chat. I'm like, man, won't you chill out? I mean, she was dropping chats all through that. I'm like, Elaine. I said, oh. I had to go ahead. I said I'm going to go in there and rumble with him. But Paris said I want Elaine to be president.
No, girl, no, not look. I can't be president for the United States, but I probably want it right now.
You talking about for self-determination in the United States?
Oh yeah.
Boom.
Yeah.
The super sister, man, she knows so much. I'm telling you, she'll talk.
And she can be a president. She might be president.
That's a guy. His name Paris. His name Paris. This guy.
Yeah, he may be president. He can organize his own area. All you got to do is withdraw from that area. If you pull that budget and you only get 10% of the budget, but you're paying X amount of tax dollars, you got a right to withdraw from that area. If you got 70% of a population that's black, but you only got 5 police officers, I'm sorry, we need an authority transfer. You ain't got no business 5 of y'all ruling over all of us. That's an issue.
Real talk. If anybody want to come in and talk about Juneteenth, come in here and get in discussion with me, Elena, Achoti, you can do that. We welcome everybody. Thank you for the donation. Thank you for the chat. Yeah, what you want to say? What's going on, Achoti? What's happening with you?
I'm just intrigued by the amount of knowledge that the sister has about, regarding international law. And when Grandmaster Jay first came on the scene and was speaking about this and said that he went to the UN and he has declared us a nation within a nation, my question for the sister is twofold. Number one, what is the exact name of the nation that your group has come up with that you put forth to the UN? And then secondly, do you think that you mentioned that there was a lot of different groups that have went and declared their independence or whatever. or they, they withdraw from a particular country and declare themselves sovereign. Do you think that because all of these different melanated people that are establishing their own groups and their own sovereignty is going to be a deterrent for us coming together to declare us as a
No.
nation
No,
all
no,
together?
no, dear. That's where the political configurations come in. So let me take my time and explain it to you what we've done. In 2017, we declared an African descendant nation. And from that African descendant nation, we declared a confederated nation. Okay. So there are two types of nations. These were insular nations, internal nations. What Jay was talking about doing was declaring an external nation outside of the United States. So there's several political configurations that we can play with. An external nation, an internal nation. We have the Republic of New Africa. We have the Aboriginal nation. We have, let's see, the Lost Found Nation, which is another Afro-descendant nation with the Honorable Silas Muhammad. He was one of the first persons that found out that we had a judicial personality. And he declared a nation. So that's not a deterrent. We can connect, and that's a great thing because of the fact that we've been oppressed. We were never allowed to create our own organic political configuration or political identity. So what happened was we assumed these other, like you have the Moors. The Moors, they always talked about internal sovereignty, but they wanted to use it within the framework of the Constitution. I consider them a nation. Then you have the Republic of New Africa, you have UNIA. That's not a bad thing because everyone keep their identity, they keep their power, they keep their autonomy. However, we connect by a treaty or compact amongst ourselves. That's what we do. That's how we do that. We connect amongst ourselves.
So with that being said, how do you suggest that we bring all of these different nations together and put that out to the masses so individuals such as myself, and I'm sure many people in the chat that didn't know that these nations within a nation is occurring, how do we get that information out to the people to encourage them to join these particular nations that we already have going on?
Well, what I want to do is I'm looking for someone to do a nice website just specifically for those nations so they can invite people to join, because we have to have our numbers. The United Nations look at numbers and they look at a percentage of the population. So once everyone that's Black American, we can't have no immigrants, nothing against them, but once we in those nations, we pull together, connect by a treaty or a compact, then we'll be ready to establish even bigger government. That's what a confederation is. It's different governments connected together for the same cause, for security, for economics, for trade, okay, for protection. And that's the way we're going to have to start thinking. So one thing that we have to do a better job of is getting the information out. This information needs to be in universities. It needs to be in high schools. We need to be talking about it in churches. But we have to build a capacity and train certain people to not only get the word out, but when something goes down in your area and you can't afford no lawyer, pick up the pen and file a petition in the Inter-American Commission. Each treaty body has a quasi-judicial commission that you can file a complaint with. The buck don't stop with the United States, but we have to build a capacity and we have to do a better job, I agree, of marketing. But the reason that has not been done is because of the funding. Most of these groups, they use their own money, their own donations from their own, from their own organization or their own autonomous nation. It's nothing that's being funded. So that's why you see what you see is what you get. But I can assure you, the paperwork and everything has been filed, and it's being worked on right now. We've had so many of our rights violated, it's not even funny. It would take me 2 weeks to tell you to really go in depth about what has happened to us and what is happening because we're ignorant of our human rights. We're in a transition period from civil rights to human rights. Human rights hold states, governments accountable. Civil rights, those rights are derived from the state, and they're not going to charge themselves with genocide. They're not going to charge themselves with apartheid and crimes of humanity. The United States is a criminal government. And I can't wait till the day that I get to tell them to their face. They are committing a crime against humanity right now. As we speak, somebody probably getting shot right now.
So you basically saying Congress has no dog in this fight. We can just.
They're not going to. And they owe too much. They're not. Congress is going to keep playing with us as long as they keep. Let me ask you this: what sane person keeps going to Congress asking for a study? 40 years. How long do it take for you to realize you killing people? That slavery was wrong. For 40 years, you have Negroes running back and forth to Congress about a study. Not about giving us our land rights, not about recognizing us as an autonomous political unit within their constitution, but for a study. We even had a group of Negroes in Evans, Illinois, asking for $25,000 loans. You tell me that's not a slap in the face. $25,000, that can't even buy a house, especially if your credit ain't right.
Oh, that's like when they went down to Tulsa and they said that, okay, so Joe Biden said, well, we're going to make sure that Congress passes laws so that we can give more small business loans to the victims of Tulsa, the Tulsa massacre. So you're going to loan me some money.
Come on.
Some stuff
Come on now.
destroyed.
Now you see where I'm going. That was generational wealth, intergenerational wealth. That's why I put that price tag high as I did, because that was intergenerational. How many generations of dollars, of gold? Because Tulsa, they were well on their way, okay, to being a really autonomous state. How many millions and trillions and billions of dollars have each generation lost due to that one act? And they just didn't stop dropping bombs there in Oklahoma. They dropped one up there in Philadelphia. We got political prisoners right now that were fighting for our rights using the international human rights law method in the 60s that's still locked up today. And I have not seen one Negro go to Congress and advocate or initiate one piece of legislation for. Why is that?
Because they're part of that go along and get along gang system.
Thank you. So that's we have to separate ourselves.
So, and we have to separate ourselves from them and stop participating in their political system. And once we stop participating in their political system, and what the brother Major had pointed out, I don't know which one of which one of our people submitted that to you, but that plan that you put up, that 17 or 20 point plan, that sounds like a constitution or a framework for how we should govern ourselves. That could be a really good start, because it had all of the pointers in there, and it starts with them, like sis say, the U.S. is never going to give us the money, but I think that if I'm correct, sister, if the international court declared that the U.S. is in violation, then they're gonna put.
They already did.
Okay,
they already did.
So they did that, and so they have not attached a dollar figure to make us whole.
Wait, let me tell you now. The UN came over here in 2016, and I'll forward the information to Brother Major, and they said emphatically that the United States need to pay us reparations. However, it's up to us to do what we need to do to get the reparations. I was there in Mississippi when the UN came. One sister testified that they were selling outdated beer. And me and my husband, we laughed and we said, now that's going too far to testify to UN. Now, come on now. You going to testify that they selling outdated beer? I didn't believe it, right? So we went to the grocery store. Outdated food, outdated beer, outdated canned sodas was being sold in a regular grocery store. Poison they were selling to our people. So the UN said it's up to us. It's up to us. It's up to us to form our political configurations. It's up to us to withdraw consent. They can only support us, but it's up to us to go and get what we need. We have got to legally and politically withdraw our consent from this parasitical relationship. The relationship is parasitical.
You're absolutely right, because in the law dictionary, I do believe I read about sovereignty, right? And all it takes is for a collective group of people to declare that they're sovereign. That's all it takes, right, sis? All we have to do is declare that we're sovereign under one nation, under one flag. And I think that's what Grandmaster Jay was alluding to.
Thanks. I got squeezed in. I want to thank 100 Black Rio for the super chat. He said, how can I contact Elena and Achoti? Got FB, Facebook, YouTube. What? I put Elena and Achoti email in the Achoti information.
I'll put my email in here too.
I put it already. So you need to put your Facebook out in there. I put Elena and Achoti email in there, but Achoti information is also in the description of this live. They want to know y'all Facebook with Achoti stuff in there, but you have a Facebook page. You say, and what you say, first create a blog page at Elena. So that's right. That's 100 Black Real. I got his phone number in his email. So if you want to holler, just let me know. Real, I got Elena phone number.
Okay.
I want to also thank Shirley J. Baker for super chat. Appreciate you, sister, so much. Thank you. And then
hey, now we can't move past that 444. 444, I see you.
All right. Yeah, you're right. Thank you. Black 100 Black Rio. Thank you for super chat. Thanks, Majazzy. Man, what did he say? What that word is right there? Majizzy? That's my name.
Miss Giselle.
Miss Giselle. He said, thanks, Miss Giselle. I don't know who that is, but you gave me a super chat. Thank you, Miss Giselle, for getting that, getting Black Rio to give that donation.
Now, you know I got to give your audience I got to give them some homework. And I'm going to put it in the chat. I want everybody to study UN 6147. That's how reparations is supposed to look.
UN what?
UN 60. I'm putting it in now. 147. Reparations. It's a reparations convention.
Reparation what?
Convention.
All right, I got to. I'm be there with you, baby. On my time, do my thing, man.
Okay, and then I'm going to give them another assignment to read the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights, Article 1, which say you have a right to self-determination.
International what?
The International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights. And in this one, we have several articles, like Article 1 talks about the right to self-determination. Article 3 talks about control of our own resources. And Article 27, which the United States and the United States signed off on this treaty, on this International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights. Article 1. They signed off on this convention, but they have reservations, understandings, and declarations that won't allow it to be judicable, to be enforced in the domestic system.
So, sis, one more time, give us the name of the nation that we've been declared as, so we can start promoting that name. I mean, I'm a believer of we have to create our own propaganda, in other words. You know?
And sister, if you send me your email, I'll send you the stuff that we've done. That way you'll see and you'll know. There was 2 nations declared. One was the African descendant nation, and from that seeded a confederated nation. So it's two nations that was declared. So if
African
you
descendant nation, and then the whatever.
Afro descendant confederated nation USA. It was 2 nations.
And
they're still
they're on the books in the UN as we are being declared at
the paperwork has been filed. It has been declared. The paperwork has been filed. See, you have to read the Montevideo Conventions, and it shows you and it tells you how to declare a nation and how a nation is formed up under international and human rights law.
So basically, like what Grandmaster Jay was saying when he said that we're now officially a nation within a nation.
Mm-hmm.
The nation that's within the nation is comprised of these 2 groups. African descendant.
Well, it's more than these 2. We're the most recent. You have the Republic of New Africa. You have the Lost Foundation. They refer to themselves as the Afro descendant nation as well. The Afro descendant nation with the Honorable Silas Muhammad. You have UNIA, which Marcus Garvey had a plebiscite vote in 1925. You have the Aboriginal nation that was declared, and it's the most advanced nation. The Aborigines have the most advanced nation, and all of these nations have went through the process of declaring their right to self-determination.
Now, do you think that these nations who's already been declared and they're doing their thing, do they welcome people who are not already in, or how? And
they're very inviting. They're very inviting.
Okay, so can you send us a name of all of these independent nations? Because I think by us being in media, it's up to the Black media to make the people aware that this exists.
They would love to have that exposure, and they would love to give you the opportunity. You're going to love investigating the nations that's been declared. Our people have been working so hard in the background. There's 2 beautiful sisters with the Republic of New Africa who's been working hard on school programs. They work on health and nutrition. Brother Ali Muhammad, beautiful brother, very articulate. He's been working on health and nutrition, actually healing our people, working on health and nutrition, working on educating our people about how to fix their families, how to manage and budget their money and their finances. Strong brother. You have the Lost Foundation of Islam, with the Honorable Silas Muhammad, who does wonderful things in the community. You have the Nation of Islam, now I don't know whether or not they've been declaring or been talking about it, but I want to give them a shout out because they have been doing the work. In my area, they do wonderful work with the people. They're working with the people. We have a lot of unsung heroes who've been boots on the ground for a long time, carving out that legal and political space for our people, working quietly in the background. We have other Aboriginal tribal nations who have been working hard in the background. I know one sister here in Georgia, she goes, the Bat sisters been, they lose their children. That sister, one phone call, she's in that courtroom. That Indian is doing her thing. She ain't playing with them folks about these babies. So I can assure you the work is being done. It's just we don't have the media or the resources to put that information out there. And based on what I've seen, I would not dare. I would recommend you and Major. But some of these people in social media, it's being weaponized against us. And I'm making a personal note of that too. I got a whole library of questionable media, social media. It's being weaponized against us because of this movement right now.
Right. I mean, if you're not in the right heart, mind, and spirit, when you're not breathing, thinking, talking, sleeping black. You know what I'm saying? You're not recognizing the Most High and how, we the original people and what needs to be done. We already know we're under attack. You're gonna be biased. You're gonna be messed up in the head. You're gonna be just twisted, distorted. I mean, you're gonna misrepresent. You're gonna do all the above because you don't really understand what you're doing. Like I see people that start movements because they don't know exactly what they're doing. They be all over the place. Then they go to sway in a whole nother direction because they never really thought about what they wanted to do. And for me, I just want to be a positive channel for black people. And why I said MajorTv is real engaging conversation with black people, black community. It ain't about how much I know versus how much you know. It's us just trying to solve what's going on. Like all praise due to what GMJ did. You know what I'm saying? That was great what he did. Open our eyes, unite us, and then took on the U.S. government almost by himself. You feel me? Even though he had people around him,
Yes,
and he took the lick. He took the lick. Everybody
he
should
did, but he's coming. He's gonna make it. That brother's gonna make it.
Real.
He's being drugged through the mud right now, but he's a strong brother, and he's gonna make it. And whether he, wherever he goes, I see him as one of our presidents. Whether he's one for the whole entire United States, he would have been a darn good president because he never strayed off of black people. When he ran for president, he was talking about, I want to fix it for black people. And if I gotta, be neutral for it, to do this, I'm gonna do this. So he ran for president. So I think when it's all said and done, he loved his people. And he's gonna do well whatever route he takes, whether he chooses to build a place over in Africa for us, or whether he want to stay here, and whatever he does, because he brought, regardless of what anybody says, he brought our plight to the forefront with that show of power. Now, I'm not saying that violence is the way, and I don't advocate violence, and I know it would be suicide for us to even try something like that. But the courage that it took, you had people from all walks of life he unified. The crippled, the blind, the crazy, the lazy. Everybody was out there. It was hot as hell too, Jay. My goddamn feet still hurt. Now, I don't know about the rest of them, but Big Baby, if somebody had a mess with us, I was going to shoot. Big Baby was going to shoot.
Another thing, Lanny, he really inspired a real movement of hope. He really inspired. Yes, he really inspired black people to understand that you can fight back. It don't necessarily have to be physical, but you can fight back. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Whichever way, what have you. You don't have to take the nonsense. And it was so bold. That's why you see people that want to try to steal a spotlight or go after him and try to take him down just because they wasn't courageous enough to do what he had done. And then at the same time, he did it unapologetically. He did it and it was what it is. Even they locked him up, he still, you know what I'm saying, come out speaking his mind. You know what I'm saying? Even though you have to be more tactful and whatnot, but I respect the brother. I think.
Well, sometimes you gotta have that effect. I'm not always tactful. I got a potty mouth too. I like to cuss. I love to cuss a motherfucker out. I'm sorry, but in this environment, that's therapeutic for me because I would be crazy.
Oh, sis, I agree with you, sis, and I would be
crazy if I didn't get that motherfucker out at least 2 or 3 times a day. I would be in a straitjacket.
Hey, y'all like the video? Y'all share the video. We've been gone about 2 hours. I'm gonna let Lenny get some last words before we cut out, you know what I'm saying, and go to the chat again. What you gotta tell the people and what have you? Hit me up, man.
First of all, I want to tell the people that I love them and I respect them. I love the people. I love black and study those articles that I have. Y'all got some homework. I want, when the next time I come on this show, if I'm on there, I want somebody telling me about this UN 6147. I want somebody to be able to tell me, okay, what is the right to self-determination? How does it look? These are the conversations we need to be having. Not about who shot John, who slept with who got herpes. Come on, y'all. The world is watching us. We looked good for a whole summer, and all that shit went out the door. We look like we the laughing stocks of the world now.
Look, went back to the stupidity, huh?
Well, come on. I'm getting phone calls. Yo, sis, what is going on with this? Why is this? What the hell? How we went from here to herpes? You talking about who got what? Who's stealing from who? It's like watching a never-ending soap opera. Come on, please. The world is watching us. You know, we got to separate ourselves from the stupidity. Those of us who are ready to exercise our right to self-determination, go to my website. It's pendoforfreedom.org. I teach international and human rights law classes. If you're interested, you can reach me at pendoforfreedom@gmail.com. So you can be instrumental in your area. If something goes down in your area, you can't get a lawyer, guess what? I know how to write up a petition. I know international law. I've worked in the background for a long time. I don't advertise what I do. They never see me coming. They just get that paperwork. I give them that work.
I'm sorry, Major. I have one more question for the sister, and this is regarding how do parents today file with the international courts in relation to CPS coming in and taking their parental rights away?
Well, I have a sister. She's a chief here in Georgia. She does that. But one of the things you can look at is there is a convention called the International Convention of the Rights of a Child, and I'll post that, or if I get your email, or if I forward it to Brother Major for you. But yes, and it also can be filed in the Inter-American Court. That's where this sister Chief Blue Feather, she's been working diligently in the OAS, filing that paperwork, helping those sisters that has lost their children. Some of our sisters are losing their children for a little or nothing because they didn't have resources. Some of our sisters, younger sisters, are on pills and stuff like that. She provides different types of healing, spiritual healing. So she's been doing the work, and I commend her as well. We have a lot of people who has been doing the work in the background using international human rights law. And this sister, she did precautionary measures for a sister.
Yes, if you would forward that information to Major, I have someone that's in need of that right now. They're going to court tomorrow with a court-appointed attorney.
Okay, I'll give you that sister's number.
2 years.
I'll give you that sister's number.
I appreciate that,
because she does wonderful work. And the rights of a child, the International Convention on the Rights of the Child, it applies. There are other international laws that applies as well. But I don't work in that field in family law, dealing with international law. That's her baby.
Well, thank you, sweetheart, so much. I appreciate
you. Thank you.
Come back through. You already know. Pull up.
You know I'm gonna pull up on y'all.
Peace, baby.
Peace, guys.
Oh, I'm sorry, baby. I'm sorry. Just say I'm sorry.
I said peace, and you all have a good night.
You too, baby. Good night.
Shabbat shalom, sister. Thank you for tuning in and being a part of this discussion. You brought some valuable information, and I'm gonna be in touch with you. I'm gonna get your number from Major. We're gonna chop it up.
Oh, girl, I'm gonna have you. Look, you're gonna be in that library, girl. I'm gonna have you in them libraries. I'm gonna have you in the graveyards. I'm gonna have you all up in them special libraries, girl. We're gonna be digging up bones, because guess what? They're gonna pay us. They owe us 59 trees. Somebody gonna send me a check.
Yes. No. Give me my money.
Ask for cash.
Peace. Thank you so much. This was so beautiful. Let's go to the chat room. I'm tired, y'all. I'm like old polar bear. Let's see what we got. Let's see. Major, pin that. Yo, slide. Pin that. Major, pin that. Pin what? Let's talk about, bro. I don't know what to talk about. I ain't really good with all that other good stuff. You know what I'm saying? I'm simple with all this. So my people, man, what y'all saying? Yeah, ready to say, Big Bro Major, you always doing it like a G. Peace, you already know. I'm a G anyway. You ain't know that? Yeah, bro, you know I am. I'm keeping it 100. Look at my man in the building, you know what I'm saying? Back at the Sojourn Light Doom in the building. That sensational sister, NFAC soldier. That was impressive piece, sister. We can't wait. You already know. Now we all must set it off and be want to call and just be black, bringing the change we want, and need to bring our people liberation. Real talk. All right, we got some Sir Joy Light doing something. What's up? Shout out to the light doing Soul Joy Life, my brother. Abdul aka Quest Man. Thank you, man, for the super sticker. Appreciate you. All praises, man. Thank you so much. Now Turner said, Major, don't leave. I'm tired, man. Look at mine. I'm like a black China. I'm tired. I'm driving 6 hours straight, tired. Had to cover my hair, shower, run and get ready for the live. I'm tired, for real. Whew. Caller Lockard. Thank you, Pamela. Thank you so much. Loving the support. Appreciate it. Real talk. GMJ really made reading books and learning important again. His teaching made you want to do research. Real talk. Real talk. Then folks that give me my reparations. Give me my reparations. To hell with the tokenish. So Johnny said, keep good work, dear sister Atlanta Polar. Real talk. My eyes getting heavy, y'all. Getting heavy. Should we go to the building? What's out, Shamika? At Leslie, at Major, at Gary, at Soul Journey, at Nat Turner, at Edgar, at Elena, at Pat, at Shirley, at O'Reilly, at everybody, huh? Pat said, I'm in the Florida family. You're in the floor. You laugh. What you doing? You laugh. What you doing in the floor, bro? 100 Black Real say weaponize against the real ones. You can weaponize against the real one. 100% true. So Queen said, I respect everyone's work, but Jim J can't want to see for a short period of time. We got the fire burning. Real talk. Let's say MajorTv, thank you for this information. Sister Elena, thank you. Now with research, all that you spoke on. Yeah, Elena deep, trust me. She will take you there. My people, TNT with Mike and Jazz, what's happening? I would have never known if it was not for your page, Major, thank you. Salute, much love. This was all about, fam. Each one, look, I forgot the hashtag, each one teach one right there, you heard? Yep. Yeah. Each one teach one. Y'all been saying got a lot of conversation going on, huh? Got a lot on your mind tonight. Sherman Brown. These preachers need to be dealt with. Give our people the money that's being given to you for promising the pearly gates when we're heading to hell. Boy, y'all got hard tonight. Anyway, for these nations to combine, NFAC could be a military for all, with organization, of course. Y'all going all tonight, huh? Oh, man. Nat Turner said, where's Achoti Tamar? She still there. She does also a lot of great work. Thank you for everything you do you're doing Achoti. Respond to Achoti. Nat Turner talk to you.
Shabbat shalom, my brother. I appreciate the the comment and the recognition. I give all praises to the Most High, my brother. If I can give out information, words don't cost me nothing, so I give it freely. You know what I mean? Thank you, my brother. I love you, my brother.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Real talk. Real talk. That's beautiful. Phil Williams, I appreciate Miss Elena knowledge and energy. Real talk. She don't play, so she be on. Queen said lots of good books and videos out there, black people. We are awakening time. We are not alone. I have to get that spiritual food. All awakened people be the same. Real talk. And Twan said, what's up, brother Major Panel and Room B first? You already know we're in here talking. about Juneteenth and what it symbolized, but have no really significance to our true liberation or really put us in a position where we're in a better place, especially getting reparations and other needed resources and what have you. But Atlanta come and talk about Miss Atlanta came and talk about self-termination. She took all with it, y'all. All day, every day. I read that. I'm sorry, I read that. Let's see. That's it. She is quoting out my book of Destruction of Black Civilization. Real talk. Gotta read now. See, y'all can go through all y'all comments. Y'all got too many comments. I am tired. Somebody say, Night Rider, all praise the Most High for you, according to more. Somebody hollering at you. K Money building, man. They hollering at me. What's happening? That brother Hodge right there, according. You know what I'm saying? Shout out. Hey, what's up, kid?
I'm sorry, I missed that. What you say now?
1 second. Let me shout out K Money. K Money, in fact, thank you for the super chat. Much love, MajorTv. In fact, for life worldwide. All praise be the most. All praise to the Most High. Shalom, family. Thank you, sister, so much. Thank you for coming through.
K Money in the building.
You already know. But nah,
Shabbat
brother.
shalom, sister. Shabbat shalom.
I said, brother, right here say all praise to the Most High for you, according to more. You know what I'm saying? Shout you out. You know what I'm saying?
All praises, my brother. Shabbat shalom to you.
Yeah. Look, y'all, I won't even lie to y'all. I'm banged up, man. I'm tired of the dog. You know what I'm saying? I want to thank K Money for the donation of always she's showing love. Always happy birthday again. That girl party. If I was 18 wood like this, yeah. I was my phone. You K Money said, oh man, you know that. I told K Money, I said, man, I'm jamming and driving that big rig. K Money said, hold up. Don't get. You said, man, don't get no. Be safe, everybody in chat. Be safe. Michael James like, man, pull that trick over, man. I'm in jamming. Hit my phone, texting. I said, let me chill out, man. Y'all with the big old noise rat me out, all that whining. I got this, man. I've been driving for a minute now. I could drive my eyes closed, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I enjoy you jamming. Boy, you had me there. Boy, I was like, yeah. Had me throwing down. I told Cody about it. Cody was tied up. Like, yeah, it was down, Cody. She did that thing, really. She really did that thing. I appreciate that, man. We gotta do that more often, man. You need to do that more often, man. That's what you need to do. Play some party music. Yeah, you need DJ.
What would be epic because y'all's birthdays are so close together? We do a K Money and a MajorTv party. Dude,
I know, man.
We gonna smash it. You heard me? What?
Hey, one should do that for me, man. Did that for me, man. Next she gonna do it for me, man. She went down. She rolled down, boy. It was tight, y'all. He said, Shalom, family. We've been in here for over 2 hours, K Money. Sorry you couldn't catch the butt in of it. We just talking about Juneteenth symbolism and how it don't really mean nothing for black people, you know. So we just giving it a real, you know what I'm saying? And Atlanta came and she was talking about self-termination. That's just to push to the next level. She had the chat on fire. Had so many comments. I was tired. Couldn't even respond to all of them. But y'all like the video. Y'all share the video. If you're new to this channel, subscribe, hit the notification button. I drop content a lot. Achoti Tamar is a co-host, but she do a lot of work for the channel, research, put out articles, do commentary, do audios, do videos. She do it all, you know what I'm saying? I appreciate her. Every so you see me have on the channel for a reason, you know what I'm saying? I want y'all to get it from a black man and a black woman perspective, you know. We don't always agree on everything, but like 90% that we grew up on, you know what I'm saying? We family now, you know, so just like I rock and roll, try to rock with her, you know what I'm saying? So it's all love, and I appreciate y'all so much, everything. Call Lockett. Good night, Major and family. Be careful, stay safe. Pieces. Good night to you. Real talk. She said much love, Achoti. In fact, in the building.
K Money, I love you too, my sister. Yes, I do.
So they shout K Money out. I see. I saw it all. I saw it all, brother. Real talk. But look, I love y'all. You know what I'm saying? Y'all been beautiful tonight as always. I'm grateful. I'm grateful to have all these people really like supporting the channel. Because again, this channel is small. This channel is growing, but it's still small. Y'all could have been watching any other video on YouTube. Y'all could have been watching TV. Y'all could have went out, had y'all a little drink, have a nice time. You could do the family time, significant other, but you chose to spend time with me, and that's really special to me. I do this for the people. I love black people. Y'all know that. Unapologetically black. I'm unafraid about sharing my truth as well as providing what I know as the truth, what I understand to be the truth. And whether you agree or not, you know what I'm saying? I just do my part. I put everything in the most high hand. I keep it moving. I'm just grateful. I'm humble. Trust me, you know what I'm saying? And I really appreciate everybody and everything, you know. Cody, you know, you have your last words or whatnot. I'm about to shoot out in a sec, you know.
My last words, y'all, is don't be swayed by every new doctrine that come out, everything that they put out there. Don't take a bone if you're not a dog. You understand me? So on this Sabbath, I wish y'all much shalom on over y'all weekend, and we're gonna come back together on Sunday to get that what you call that real estate knowledge on for the generational wealth building class, 11 o'clock. Major not back in the building. Tune in on Sunday, 11 a.m. Central Time, 12 p.m. Your time, right, Major?
12 Eastern, my time, and your time
11.
11. Yeah.
11 Central. So I want to see all y'all in the building, get this knowledge about generational wealth. I apologize for not being in the building last Sunday, but you know, things happen. I love y'all with the love of Yahuwah. Just be black.
Love you too, baby. Good night. Hey, Mike and Jazz say each one teach one. Val Williams said good night, Major, Cody. Family peace. My girl Robin said thank you, Major. Stay safe. You already know. That Turner said at Generation Well Building Love. You too, fam. Much love. Appreciate that. You know, hey y'all know how I rock. What's up with me? I do this for the people again. Have to say that it's a struggle, y'all. The struggle just staying focused. The struggle just knowing that you have to do this. You can't look away from the truth. You can't look away from what we're going through as a people, and it's just imperative that I do my part, just like you have to do your part. There's a lot of creative things going on. I know people think the steam is leaving from the movement. There's a lot of infight and confusion. I know the situation with Jay, you know what I'm saying? Though we are optimistic, though we know the Most High got him, we know the system trying to take him down. It's our job to stay focused. It's our job to just stay in our lane. Too many times we try to spread ourselves too thin, trying to do everything. You can't do everything. You can't fight every fight. You gotta put that in the Most High hand. Just do your part. You still have to take care of yourself. You have to provide for your family. You still have to have some kind of moral compass. You have to live by example. You have to really speak things existence by walking and exhibit through your actions what you're all about. Sometimes that can be easy, sometimes it can be hard. For me, I try to stand tall, my head up. I try to stay focused on what's important. And I know you have to have a real foundation with the Most High in your life, but you also have to have a clear head about what you want to do every day. You have to dream. You got to think big. You have to have a starting point. You have to get a job, or whatever. You have to find ways to make money. You have to find ways how to build. You have to go deep inside and just bring out the great you. Don't be average. Always be different. Everybody reported about following trends and what's popping, what's going on, who's wearing this, what the everyday lingo, what I'm driving and where I live at, and all this other stuff. How much money I got? It ain't even about that. It's about doing you, but be responsible in doing you. And just remember one thing: we gotta love each other. We have to unite. Ain't no if ands about it. We have to unite. I don't care how you look at it. I don't care how you try to fix it. We got to do this. Too much making money. Too much doing good. Don't really care about the movement. Don't care about what's going on in our community. And that's something that has to stop. We have to really look at what's going on in our community, and we have to find ways how to deal with it. No, it's not going to be simple, but nothing in life is simple. But we are dying. And I'm not just saying about police violence. We die by the violence that we do against each other. We dying. Some of us dying spiritually, mentally, emotionally. Our body is just breaking down. We're not, like taking care of ourselves properly. We're not thinking clearly. We're not giving it to the Most High. We're not praying. We're not doing what we should do. I'm not talking about nobody specific. I'm talking about in general in the Black community. There is a real situation going on, y'all. And we gotta be willing to fix it. Any means. But with this MajorTv, you know how I do before I close. I have to give a kind of sentimental thing, let y'all know one thing. That it's real, y'all. So yeah, I love y'all. Y'all take care. Y'all stay focused. Stay on cold and just be black. Peace.